E360 TV proudly presents Messages of Inspirational Stories TV show. Live streaming now to millions of devices around the world on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, YouTube Live, Facebook live streaming. Our shows are available video on demand on these channels. And we broadcast daily, Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time on these channels. On Mondays, Expanding Your Business. Tuesdays, Natural Health and Wellness. On Wednesdays, we cover mentoring our youth. And on Thursdays, our new show, Ideas Worth Knowing. And on Fridays, Women in Leadership. To be able to watch our television show on your favorite device, please go to e360tv.com and download the app for your favorite device. Brought to you by our producers and hosts, Jim Grant and Donna Guinois. Along with our hosts, Beata Severin Reed and Emerson Brantley. Supported by our admin team of Michaela Vidal and Gaia Guinois Balconi Hueda. And welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. The Messages of Inspirational Stories is proudly brought to you today by the good guys at the 6minutewebinar.com. And ladies and gentlemen, you've heard us talk a lot about the 6minutewebinar.com. It is a wonderful app that you can use to be able to communicate with your ideal client or your ideal audience. When I say client or audience, if you're going to be a speaker delivering a presentation, you really need the 6-minute webinar. And it will set you up to where you can give a fantastic performance. And if you're going to write a book, we recommend for you to use the 6-minute webinar to help you organize your thoughts. If you're going to talk to someone about a product or program, whether it's a lotion, potion, pill, or whatever it might be, you definitely want the 6-minute webinar for each one, because when a person is coming to you with a specific need or a problem, they want to know whether or not you can solve that problem. They don't care about all the other things that you do. And, you know, Emerson, we're also brought, our show is also brought to you, let me say here, trying to do 4 things at once. And when I do that, my brain doesn't work too well. But we're also brought to you by the good guys over at the ideasworthknowing.com. And I think you might know 1 or 2 of them over there, huh? Share a little bit about Ideas Worth Knowing, sir.
Well, I've done work in writing and publishing for many, many years. I've had several best-selling books myself, and I've known this publisher, Mike Lewis, of Ideas Worth Knowing, or Branded Experts is actually his publishing site.
Yeah.
But Mike and I were talking here, well, close to a year ago, about all of these business books that have been bestsellers that he's published and helped to make bestsellers, well over 1,000 of them. And we came up with the idea of creating a library that people would be able to go to and access these books. In fact, Jim, you may or may not know this, we're actually creating a nonprofit arm to be able to do this in a bigger way. But
that's fantastic.
Yeah. But
how did that come about? I mean, how did
they
that?
Can go to that site, ideasworthknowing.com, and they can click on the link to get their library card, and they can access those books. If you have a small business, even if you're a solopreneur, or if you have a company or corporation, there's some really good top shelf business authors, including someone that I know personally, who is
Mr. Emerson Brantley, one each,
who have the books that you could spend $20 or $30 for on Amazon. Or let's be real. If you download them to Kindle, maybe even $5 or $10 or $15 for if it's a Kindle, but you can get the digital copy of them for no cost. You go to ideasworthknowing.com.
And the wonderful thing about it, ladies and gentlemen, when you go there and you go to the link there, Ideas Worth Knowing, you click on and get your library card there, your digital card, and you get these 10 books of your choice. You don't have to make all 10 selections at once. You can make one today, 2 tomorrow, whatever you want to, but they're not gonna, no one there is gonna try to chase you down and try to sell you something or anything like that, because Mike has done over 1,000 best-selling authors. He don't need 1,001. I mean, he would take it, yes, but I mean, he's not. That's not the motivation behind it. Emerson hit very lightly on the true motivation behind it. Two reasons. Number one is to be able to help the little guys out there get access to top-notch material to help them in their daily life. It may be something on inspiration, might be something on business. It may be something on how to cope with something, how to deal with something, how to turn your energy on. And also, the second thing that I really like, I heard there, was a nonprofit.
Yeah.
That is tremendous, because Emerson, I've heard you say a lot, and and I want you to say this, because I will slaughter it, ladies and gentlemen. I am horrible at stuff like that. I've got a degree in mispronouncing names and words correctly the first time. But what's that thing about why people will care about you? You say it so eloquently.
People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Yeah. And people don't care about what you're all about till they know that you're in your heart, you care.
And if you're aligned with something bigger than your bottom line, bigger than your business, it doesn't mean the bottom line isn't important. I mean, Jim, the first rule of economics is, if your outgo exceeds your income, then your upkeep is your downfall.
There you go.
The bottom line matters, but when we put our focus on that bottom line, what we're doing is we're limiting everything in our business.
Oh, yeah.
And what happens when we have something bigger than that bottom line as a driver that we let people know is important, what happens is you take the limits off of your business.
Yes. And, recently, we're going to do a project on the city of Brenham, and we're progressing on that. And I'm really enjoying the challenge of it too, because it's going to be a great challenge, and we're going to make it happen one way or another. No question about that. Even with yours truly here being at the master control at the mic or whatever. But sincerely, I'm a Vietnam veteran. I'm a lifetime member of the VFW, and I served 3 years active duty, 1 year in NAM, and 28 in the reserves. And my son has been on active duty for well over about 14, 15 years now, or something like that. Long time. Multiple tours of duty over in Iraq and Afghanistan. He's been awarded the Bronze Star. So therefore, I selected the VFW Foundation as my cause, because people could easily see I've got skin in the game there. I've got some attachment to the VFW. They're my brothers and sisters. We've all served in different places at different times, but we've been in combat zones. And Emerson did a press release on it. And folks, I think you're intelligent enough to know that me doing a story about drawing tourism in a small town, is that really newsworthy? Not really, maybe to some people. But when they found out the cause behind it was also to help promote and raise funds for the VFW Foundation, that's what Emerson was talking about. That's bigger than me. I'm just a guy, and just going to be doing the little groundwork around and that sort of thing. But the cause was so much bigger than me. And when the press release got released, it was on a Tuesday, I think. 23rd of last month on May, I think it was, and on the 25th, by the 25th, then Emerson sent me an email, and there was 373, 4, 5 different outlets that picked it up that found it newsworthy. This is everything from a blog to a newspaper to a radio station to a TV station.
Yeah, some TV stations, yeah.
Yeah, because all editors are looking for good content to put on their websites.
And they're looking for good stories.
Yes.
They're looking for stories that engage their audience.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, it tears me up sometimes. I'll be in a town. It doesn't matter what the town is. If they have like a newspaper, a business journal or something, I check it out. And there's always a section there about new promotions and new this and new that. And you know, Susie Jones and John Smith, and they were the former second, third advisory, whatever, and now they're the first, second, third advisory. It's, you know, they've been promoted, and that's really great. You know, it makes them feel good. They cut it out, put it in their scrapbook or whatever, or you know, get a lot of likes on their Facebook page or whatever. But to have hundreds of blogs around the country that are publishing your information with the links, to have TV stations and radio stations too, Jim, and newspapers and even a few magazines in there that pick up the story and show your business in this beautiful light. That's the core of it.
Yeah.
That's the core.
And Emerson, if
in your business.
Emerson, if it's okay, I'd like to talk a little bit about, you know, everybody has heard you've got a story in you. Yes, you do. But, and I am not a publisher. I got a book somewhere in the works. You know,
we're gonna get you a bestseller here pretty soon, Jim.
Okay, I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, we're gonna get you a bestseller pretty soon.
But my point being, I want to make it clear, I'm not a subject matter expert on what I'm about to say. So Emerson, if you need to correct me or whatever, please do so, brother. I would venture to say, if you had the desire to write a book, and we're going to talk about how Mike does that so effortlessly. I mean, oh, it's beautiful the way he does it. That's going to be the second part. But I would venture to say, no matter how good your book is, if you got a passion for some of the proceeds going to a cause, a nonprofit or whatever it might be, that's bigger than you, I honestly believe that would enhance sales to raise you up to a bestseller. I really do. Yeah. Sure. And I kind of knew that answer, but I wanted to run it by the ideas we're knowing expert here.
For example, one of the things that we're doing, and you mentioned Brenham. Brenham is a pilot project for a program that Jim and I have been developing for a while to bring small communities, small towns. I don't know how many are in Brenham, 30, 40,000?
Oh, 17,000.
17,000. Okay. Small towns, Main Street, USA.
Right.
The backbone of America.
Amen.
Okay. But to bring them into a place where they can let their story be told.
Yes.
And they can begin attracting other people into their community.
Yes.
The companies that are located there will be able to attract more people into their community, and they'll be able to grow and thrive.
Oh,
as a result. And one of the things Jim mentioned, the VFW are the American Legion, are any of the veterans organizations. Every single one of these small towns, man, they've got their Memorial Day parades, and they've got their walls of respect that they've put up for the people that have been lost and over the years defending our freedom. And we know there are also people who are big promoters and sponsors of the town who want to see their town. I'm not going to say on the map, because that sounds like they're not on the map. Yeah. But to have recognition come to the town. Yeah. And one of the things shown in a positive light. We put together, I'm just going to hold it up. This is just a a mock-up of the kind of awards that we're giving to businesses, new businesses that are in small towns that want to promote something bigger than
themselves.
Yourself. Yeah.
Mercy.
If you want to promote the town and the community, and you want to, and in the process, you're going to be attracting the talent that you need for your business to grow. Or maybe you'll be attracting the people to come to visit the town that will help everyone in the town thrive.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
We want to reward that.
Absolutely.
And we want to reward it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because, it's really amazing. I read a comment, and I'm going to share this with you. And the comment that I found, Emerson, you may have wrote this comment, being the marketing guru you are, but the most successful marketing campaigns, ladies and gentlemen, the most successful marketing campaigns always attracts new customers that always have a cause that is bigger than their business.
Yeah.
It goes hand in hand. If you want to attract new customers, let them know about your heart. Let them know what your cause is. And see, the cause that we chose here, the veterans, that fits us, because we got skin in the game. And I like to use this example, if I may. Let's say that you're getting ready to shop online somewhere, and you're looking online. You've already know exactly the product that you want. You know exactly how much you want to pay for it. You look over here, and this ABC company has got the product exactly what you want. It's the exact price you want to pay. And then you see another company, XYZ, and XYZ has got that same product for the same price.
Or even a little bit.
Or yeah, maybe a little more, maybe a smidgen more. But you see a comment there where a portion of all of their sales, each sale goes to benefit the St. Jude's Hospital. Now, I want you to think about it. Yeah, just pull one out of the air. But I mean, they got skin in the game at the same. Maybe they had a child there, or maybe they had a good friend that had a child there. But they got an attachment there. I think that's important. But my point being is that if you see two companies got the same product, let's just say the same price, or like Emerson says, maybe a little more for the other one, but one is just going to, make a sale. The other one's going to make the sale, but they're also going to donate some of that money to the St. Jude's Hospital. Which one would you be inclined to want to do business with?
Right.
That's why the cause is much bigger than you. Otherwise, you're just going to be competing with the ABCs out there and never get any higher up in the alphabet than that. ABC, ABC. That's going to be a boring song there, And the only thing you have to compete with is price.
It ends up being just a price thing. If you look the same as this one, and I can't really tell the difference, I'm going to go with the lower price. Most people will, but price is not the reason people make the purchase in most cases. In a small business, especially, this is important for anybody in a small business or owns a small business. You are not in a price war with some big discounter. You just aren't. And I could go into a lot of case examples where we proved that's not the case. People will pay more when they feel like there's a connection there. I'm not saying that you're doing something that's taking advantage. Small businesses, you're running on tight margins. You've got to watch where every dollar goes and know that what's going to happen is going to be enough for you to make payroll for your people and for you to be able to provide your suppliers so you can order in advance and make those payments and everything. Amen. For the overhead and everything else. Look, small businesses are constantly being pressured.
Yes.
When you wrap your head around the concept that we're talking about, when it's something bigger than your business, there's a purpose there. Now you're attracting people not just because of your pricing, are your selection. They may take something that's not exactly the piece that they want because they support the cause. They may pay 5% or 10% more because they're supporting the cause. And one person that we're working with, and Jim knows him because, in fact, some of you viewers know him because we've had him on the show a couple of times. A young fellow that has the microgreens, okay, Connor Hebel. We're working on a program so that every time somebody makes a purchase of the microgreens growing kits, we can put a growing kit into the hand of a child in elementary school. Now, the power of that kind of program is, look, and I'm using this as an example. Whatever your business is, I can make you an example that is exactly what your business is offering. Because I've worked with, over the years, literally thousands of businesses in hundreds of different markets in over 40 countries. It works the same way every time. Okay? So finding that purpose that's there is the important part of it. Now, here's the key. Put it out of your mind. All of us have gone into a business, Jim, and seen a barrel in the waiting room, with a sign on it that says something like, "Hey, bring in any canned good on Thursday, and you get 10% off," or something like that. This isn't that. This is about taking ownership and identifying and positioning yourself as this caring partner in your community. That's bigger than your business. And you will have people who will come to you, who will buy from your website. It works exactly the same online. Who will purchase from you instead of somebody else. They don't care how much you know. They don't care how many products you have. They don't care how many buttons are on the products or anything else until they know how much you care.
Exactly right. And Emerson, I had a little bit of an internet problem there, so that's why I popped out and popped back in. I had to go down to ATM, get some more quarters, what it was. But Emerson, when it comes to people that want to write a book that have a story, let's just share how brilliant Mike Lewis really is. Let's blow Mike's horn a little bit, because Emerson approached me. He says, "Hey, Jim, you got a lot of experience. You've been on the radio. You got a live streaming show, and then Mike wants to do a book for podcasters, which the principles are the same on all mediums like that." And I said, "Okay." And I said, "Let's do a book." I'm thinking he wants me to write a book. I'm going like, "Oh man, I'm doing 5 shows a week. I got I got my grandpuppy up here who's living with me now because she's in a retirement home as my daughter says, because she needs extra care. She's 17. But
why don't you have a radio show?
Yeah. And I try to get at least 6 to 7 hours sleep a night. But my point being,
Emerson goes 6 to 7 a night now. Wow, that's much better than the 6 to 7 hours a week.
Yeah, I used to get about 3 to 4 hours sleep a night, ladies and gentlemen. But here's Emerson over there. He's listening to me, giving him all these reasons why I can't write a book. And he's going like, and I'm going like, okay, all right, let me have it. Emerson, share with them the way that Mike helps people with create a book. Let me just put it like that and leave it right there.
Yeah. Well, most people have the same issue that you had, Jim. In fact, I was in a mastermind once a few years back, and I was in there with a fellow who owned a business, and for 8 years had been working on his book.
Oh gosh, that'd be me.
8 years. Well, the thing is, having a book is a world of possibilities. Okay, first of all, put it out of your mind that I'm going to write a book and make money from selling my book.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're, what's the woman's name? Rawlings.
Harry
Potter. Maybe if you're that, maybe that she's making millions of dollars. That's great.
Oh, yeah.
And we can all name authors out there that are, $1 million authors.
Sure.
But the purpose of a book for you in a business is it's a door opener. It's an opportunity to get media to interview you, to talk to you, to promote you. And it gives you an amazing edge when you're talking to a new client or patient or customer to be able to actually have written the book on the subject. And these are things that you can use to grow your business in 100 different ways. So having a book is really key. The problem that Jim mentioned is exactly the problem that most people have. Now, I've been a writer most of my life, my adult life, and you know, that part of it, that's not an issue for me. When we were creating Sold, okay, which is one of the best sellers that I've had out there. When we were creating this, I wrote it. But most people would identify with the issue Jim had, which is, gosh, where do I start? How do I do this? And start writing something and can't get it through your head. And so what Mike, and it's Mike Lewis, who's been on, who he and I usually do this show together. He couldn't be here today. But what Mike looked at was, okay, wait a minute. This is a modern age here. We're in the 2020s on the way to the 2030s, right? There's a better way. And so what Mike's approach has been is we come up with 10 or 12 interview questions. We ask the questions and you just talk it. You speak it. You explain it like you would if you were talking to a new customer or a new client, or if you're being asked to explain what you do at a chamber meeting or something.
Oh, yeah.
So that's how you get the book. And literally with Jim, I think we did an hour show, didn't we, Jim? Basically.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
Basically. And
we sure did.
That will become the book.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just that easy.
It really is. And, it just amazes me. I'm looking for something that I want to show the folks too.
Okay.
So Emerson, you go ahead and let me do my sweat equity back here and see if I can find it.
If somebody were to ask you, gee, you own a dress shop. What are some things I need to know if before I go and if I want to buy a dress? I don't normally buy dresses for myself, but I have been surrounded, as many of you know, by powerful women in my whole life. 3 daughters, 4 granddaughters, 2 sisters, and my amazing wife. So, yes, I have gone in and done some shopping like that before. But what do I need to be looking for? How do I tell if it's a good deal? How do I tell if it's a good quality? So whatever it is that your business, and again, I'm just pulling that out of the air. I could say, you own the car dealership in a town. What are the 8 or 10 things that I need to know when I'm going in with my trade-in and I want to buy a car? What should I be aware of? What should I be looking for? What things should I look out for? So you can have that conversation, and that conversation can become your book. There's some steps in the process there, but Mike has so streamlined this to take it and be able to turn, like an hour show with Jim, to turn that into a book. He's cracked the code as far as making books bestsellers, and has somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,000 or more bestsellers that he's created as a publisher.
He sure has.
Again, going back to our original story here, Jim, the thing that really makes the difference is to have something bigger than your business.
Amen.
And connecting. I'm not saying not connecting your business to it, but your business connects to it. So I'm going to give you an example. Many towns have, say, a Habitat for Humanity. Okay. Now, there are a number of big national companies who support Habitat for Humanity around the country.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do anything at all in home repair, home remodeling, home supplies,
Mm-hmm.
building supplies, things like that, to align yourself that way is a natural alignment. But again, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
when you make that connection, what I always tell my clients is make the connection and then stand in that spot.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Own that spot. Make it where that's part of it. Well, honest to God, Emerson, that's all well and good and touchy feely and all that. But you know what? Hey, if their plastic's good or if their money, it's all good. Bring it on in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say to you this: that is not who you want.
There you
Because
go.
all that matters, if all that matters to you is that they're able to buy and that they spend money with you, guess what? All that matters to them is, can they get it cheaper somewhere else?
That's right.
But when they see that you care and they align with that and they support that, and they are able to they'll tell people, hey, I buy from Jim because Jim supports our veterans,
Mm-hmm.
There's a power in that. Can you feel that? There is a power in that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not transactional. It's a power that's deep, it's emotional, it's down in here. And when you're writing a book, it's a great opportunity to take that bigger purpose and explain that part of your story in your book.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you this, not only do we get pickups all over, media pickups like blog posts, radio shows, TV shows, magazines, newspapers, you name it, in the hundreds when we get this line in alignment, you end up with the interviews, you end up with the interest, you end up with them calling you back up when they need somebody in your space who to bring in as an expert on another story, and they begin promoting you. And for a small business, that's powerful to have that going on. It's powerful.
And Emerson, I finally found something I wanted to share with the folks. This is what I was busy doing. I had to go find a picture, then create a PDF on Canva and upload it here. So other than that, I haven't been doing anything. But Mike Lewis, he puts the icing on the cake when he does this. This surprised me. Imagine how you would feel to have this in your business or be presented this. Look at that plaque.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah. Now, that was the gentleman, I know, Tim, you and him put that book together, didn't you, that you held up there, huh?
Yeah. Tim and I did this book here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And did you get a plaque or did they give it to Tim? I'm just kidding you. I'm just teasing you. I'm just teasing you, Emerson. No, but really,
that's okay.
Mean, this is what Mike wants to do and give him back value. And think about how that plaque would look, whether it's hanging in your house, in your office, in your business. Oh my goodness, because that gives you instant credibility. You can put it take a picture of it, put it on your website. Goodness gracious. I mean, it's a door opener. You see other people, they got their books and all that, but do they have a plaque? You're going to have a plaque.
It's an award. It shows something. Look, it's not, here's a plaque to boost your ego. Every single thing that we're talking about are things that become tools to help you get the conversations going that you need to be able to have for your business. The
Amen.
conversations, not just with media,
Mm-hmm.
but so if you have a website or if you have a physical location, so people see that
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and it resonates with them and it
Mm-hmm.
matters to them.
Sure it does.
It makes a difference.
It just gives you instant credibility because
Yes.
it shows that you are, you are a servant that's focused on something much bigger than yourself. I know we keep saying much bigger than yourself, but that's exactly what it is. Because there's a lot of people in business who are only they're only in there for one thing, and that's what's in it for them. How much money they put in their pocket, how much money can they make? And we see those people, and I see stuff all the time. Hey, let me tell you how I earned $10,000 last week. I don't care.
Yeah.
Because money's the poorest motivator on planet Earth.
Yeah.
And just like Emerson's been saying, my response is, I see those ads, I don't care anything about going any further.
No.
I really don't.
Yeah, they're the kind of thing that it's very
Self-serving, number
it's
one.
bragging, it's not bragging.
Yeah.
And people should be recognized if you promote
Mm-hmm.
people and things like that.
Sure.
That page in the business journal is actually a brand, so I'm not, but in the business pages or business paper, those pages are kind of gratuitous.
Mm-hmm.
They put them out there and they're good. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
But what we're talking about is a concept that takes your business and
Mm-hmm.
elevates it in a whole different way. So,
oh yeah,
when and Jim has pointed this out more than once, I'm on the board of the United States Green Chamber of Commerce. Well, that's something that's important to me. Building a sustainable business, something is sustainable for people who work for you,
mm-hmm.
for our planet, that you're not dumping your wastewater into the nearby creek, and killing the fish, which there have been companies who've done that, in the past.
Mm-hmm.
For the profit, sustainable profit is important for a business. And when you have those things in alignment, now your business can go beyond just the transactional of, we got this many people in today, that was a good day, we had this many sales, and or Susie Johnson, she's on the leaderboard for the month, she sold the most, or you're drilling down to a whole different level when you're doing what we're talking about here.
You certainly are, because I've used the VFW as an example. You know my why, my cause, and all that. But here's another thing, and this is something that I think is applicable to every person who wants to contribute and have the opportunity. That's the key. Give them an opportunity to contribute, because a lot of people, they've either thought or said, or a combination of the two, why don't the government do more to help veterans? And see, now we've opened the door, and we're going to give them an opportunity to participate, knowing that a portion of everything that they spend is going to go directly to the VFW Foundation. And see, as a person, whether you got a book, whether you got a business, whatever it might be, please give people an opportunity to participate in a worthy cause. That's your responsibility, to open the door and say, please come in, and let's all work together for this wonderful cause to make like my opening statement that I said when I was over there, and I was online, of course, in India back there in 2020. And everybody, all the other speakers talked about this is who they are, their name, what they've done, and all that. Hey, the A-team hadn't called yet, have they? And they just heard the ding there. But anyway, when it was my turn to speak, I just simply had an opening statement and I got this in the 6-minute webinar. So, ladies and gentlemen, during my presentation today, I'm going to share with you 3 proven ways that you can get your community involved to make your community a better place to live. And right there, boom, I've talked about their community. And people who are interested in that will tune in. People that are not interested in that, well, no big deal, And but see, I use that as only as an example to say, when you tell your cause, whatever it might be, you give people an opportunity to become part ownership of that cause, knowing they can actually help contribute to a worthy cause. That's tremendous, isn't it, Emerson?
It is, and it matters.
Yes.
It means more than just being another business.
Mm-hmm.
It means, well, we're back to the same thing. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I'm going to do another quote.
Okay.
And by the way, one of the people that I was exposed to early on, I'm trying to look here, Chainsaw Al Dunlap, who the exact opposite of what we're talking about here. He was a turnaround management specialist, and I want to say he did work with. Scott Paper. I can't remember exactly, or maybe it was General Electric. I can't remember. And some of you out there, you can email us and tell us. But he had a real thing. If you want to support, if you got a nonprofit you want to support, do it on your own time. The purpose of a corporation is to make money on the bottom line for the shareholders, not to better the community, not to do anything else. That was his whole philosophy, and that's the opposite. That's the opposite of what I'm sharing with you.
Wow.
That philosophy is not a philosophy that makes the difference that you're wanting to make for your business, not just for the other good things we're talking about, but for your business, that sets you apart from other businesses doing exactly the same thing. And they're the same basic way, and they're all butting heads with each other and trying to get this dollar from this one and that one and the other one. When you take a stand like that, people will come and buy from you just because of that. Or as my dad would say, do the right thing, son. Do it as right as you can, and do it just because it's right. When you have that as part of the reason behind what you do in your business, people gravitate to you and will pay, that will bypass other options. And I'm not saying to jack up your prices necessarily, but I'm saying people will not be as price conscious in trying to find the best deal, because they'll go, you know what? I'd rather buy from you because I like what you're doing.
Yeah. I read a story one time.
What you stand for.
Yeah. I read a story one time. It just now came to my mind, all the conversations we had. There was a shopping center, and they told everybody up front they're going to charge, the merchants in there would charge 10 to 15% more during this time. But what they did, they brought in a little circus. It's a pretty good sized shopping center. They brought in a little circus and 10%. In other words, the 10% that they charged extra, the 10% was going directly to the local fire department, and they'd have fire department one time, the school for another time, the police department. I mean, but it was all community. It was local stuff. And they tell the people up front that the merchant's going to charge 10% extra, but that 10% extra, they're going to match or whatever, and then they're getting 20% in to go to these charities, and also too, the kids will be able to enjoy the little rides they had there. It wasn't a big, they didn't have a big, huge, circus or anything, but it was a family type thing. And they had people set up there where this was out in Tucson, and they had people set up to where, they had people there where the people could drop their kids off and not worry about the kids getting taken or anything like that. So mom and dad could go shop while the kids were out there riding go-kart, riding little cars or whatever, and it just flourished every time. It flourished every single time they put it on.
It's thinking outside the box.
There you go.
It's thinking about a bigger impact.
Mm-hmm.
And it's making a difference.
Yeah.
It's making a difference in your community. It changes your community.
Amen.
It changes your town, your state, your region. It changes the world. It is something that matters. And I'm just going to say this. I'm sorry. If you've watched this show this far along, and in the back of your mind you're thinking, well, hey, all that's well and good. If I have enough business, I'll be happy to give. But I need to focus on my marketing and get more. I need more people in the door. I need more people ringing the cash register. I need more people on my website. I need more traffic. I've worked with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of companies. Okay. I've worked in somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 countries. And I've done well over 12,000 campaigns in marketing in every media there is. And I can tell you, there's somebody else out there who does exactly what you do, and they'll do it for less.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not the way to make your business not just grow, but have sustainable growth. And when you get behind it, people admire it. They respect it. They appreciate it. They feel like it's important, not just to do business with you, but to tell the people that they know to do business with you. And you don't have to be the cheapest. I said that in the class that Jim took that I did on marketing. One of the things you might remember this, Jim, I had a couple of slides on this, but there's only one company that is the cheapest company. There's only one company that is the biggest company. And by the way, there's only one company that is the oldest company. You don't have to be the oldest. Not that anybody cares if you're the oldest, but you don't have to be the cheapest. Hey, you don't have to be the cheapest, and you don't have to be the biggest. You can be the best, because best is different for every single one of your customers and clients and patients. The fact that they trust you, that they listen to you, they appreciate you, they believe in you, and they will overlook the little mistakes that take place and the screw ups that happen and orders that don't come in right and this and this and this and this and this, all the things that can be such headaches. These are the people who look beyond all of that because they value you and your company and your people. And they tell everyone that they know, you need to do business. You need to have her as your doctor. You need to buy your auto parts here. You need to go and try their breakfast over there. It doesn't matter what the business is.
Not at all.
Or offline. It doesn't
matter.
I had something I was going to read, Jim, and I know we only have a few minutes left. This is from a bestseller that I wrote that was 11 weeks on the Wall Street Journal bestseller list. It's called Creating Success from the Inside Out. And it was semi-ghost written for another person, but my name is also on it since I wrote it. But I quoted John Wesley, who some of you will know was he and his brother Charles were founders of what became the Methodist Church.
Yeah.
And he said, do all the good you can by all the means you can,
all the means you can,
in all the ways you can,
mm-hmm.
in all the places you can, to all the people you can, as long as ever you can. Now think about that philosophy and the impact that your business, a small business, or maybe it's a bigger business or a corporation. I've worked with Fortune 50 companies, and I've worked with solopreneurs and worked with mom and pop, hardware stores. But the concept of that purpose, and that purpose is bigger than just the purpose of your business, whether it's online or whether it's offline. People gravitate to that and will do business with you just because of that.
Yes, they will.
And an example that I used with Jim, just before the show. There was a shoe company called Zappos Shoes. People bought from them not because they were the cheapest shoes they could get, not necessarily because they were the most stylish or because they were whatever, but because every time you bought a pair of shoes got donated. People bought with that as a big part of their reason. And there are other companies that I can name like that. But it doesn't have to be a big corporation. Small businesses have a better shot at it because especially small local businesses, because you're part of the community.
There you go. Yeah, because one of the great things about it is that being a small business owner and you're able to tell your story and get your book and all that, but the thing that will never, ever, ever change. I know AIs are great, and I know that's really taking the world by storm, but people still want to connect with people. Don't ever forget that.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the things the bigger boys can't do, is the owner. Well, you go into a big store and ask for the owner. The owner's not going to be there. You ask for the manager, and you might get the assistant manager. And I'm not knocking anything or anything like that, but the assistant manager, managers, their job is to make sure the doors are open at the right time, that the lights are on, the shelves are stocked, employees are covered, make sure the traffic is flowing through the store. But as far as making a decision for you to help you in your hour of need, they're kind of limited. I'm not saying they couldn't handle refunds. I'm not talking about that. But let's just say that you come up there and you got a cause and you're trying to raise money. And over on the side, out of the way, you'd like to have a little car wash to raise money for a charity. Well, the manager he's got to check with somebody. Whereas a small business owner, you can make that decision right now.
Yeah.
And you can say, well, sure. I'm talking about a brick and mortar type establishment. You can say, well, sure. I mean, let me help you a little bit, and maybe not washing of the cars, but let me, help get everything set up and make sure everything's good to go and all that. And maybe provide refreshments for the people out there who are doing a car washing. Because I know some groups, they like to wash cars to raise money. They have a little specialty because it's not hard.
Just having that personal touch, and you can do this online or offline.
You can.
Your website and your chat, on your site,
your blog,
your people, your order processing people, whatever. You can do this, empower your people to do it. I have to. Yeah. This is a big box. Okay, this is a big box store, but I'll just share because, like I said, it's not just for small businesses,
right?
It's not just for big businesses either. We had a hurricane here a few years back, and I heard that one of the big box retailers had 125 generators on a truck coming in, and I told my wife, I said, I'm going to be there at 5 a.m. I'm going to be there to get a generator because we didn't have one at the time. And I was the second person in line. the line had over 2,000 people in it by the time they opened the doors.
Mm.
Fortunately, I had a federal marshal as the first person in line ahead of me, so I didn't worry about it. But you know what the manager did?
Mm-mm.
He had the bakery people come in, and he made a whole huge rolling stand of fresh baked cookies. And he had two of his people push this out so that everybody in that line would be able to have a fresh, warm cookie. I mean,
Wow.
it's a little thing, but it's that personal touch.
Mm.
People don't care how much you know. They don't care how
Yeah.
big you are, how small you are, how cheap you are, until they know how much you care.
Care. Oh, that's amazing. I love that story. I love that. And there's a lot of managers out there who would, that do things like that. They think outside the box. And those are the managers that go places.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yeah. Empower your people. Give them the leverage to be able to make decisions like that.
Yeah. Because that also really enhances employee morale. Because now they're involved in something that's really great. Oh, man. I like that story. I've never heard that before, but that's a good one. You did get your generator and a cookie?
Yeah. That was the second one in line, man. I still have it.
The cookie or the generator?
No.
The cookie went down the hatch.
That's right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, our time is gone. We've
sure
really
has.
enjoyed it. And be sure to go to ideasworthknowing.com. Be sure and get your complimentary 10 books there. Be sure and share it with others, because we're talking about complimentary 10 bestseller books.
Business books.
Business books, yeah. I mean, my
all
goodness
aspects
gracious.
of your business.
Oh, yeah. And these people are subject matter experts. They've been there. They've done it. They got skin in the game. So please, 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 ladies and gentlemen, share this with others, because having 10 complimentary books to fill the gap or to help you maybe have a better understanding or a different perspective on things, because that's what you're talking about. These people are going to open your eyes, and these people are going to pull back the curtain. They literally pull back the curtains and just, share everything they know, don't they, Emerson?
Oh, yeah. Well, one of my books is on it, this Sold. And, I went, oh, heck yeah, put my book on. I want more people to be able to know.
There you go. There you go.
I'm able to share. So there you go.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. On behalf of Emerson and myself, we certainly missed Mike today. We hope he'll be back with us next week. But it's been my pleasure to fill in for Mike today, and sincerely hope and pray that you enjoy the show. Be sure and share the show with others. And most importantly, on behalf of Emerson, Mike, and myself, we sincerely hope that you and your loved ones are healthy, happy, and blessed in all areas of your life. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.